Do the work you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. I bet you may have heard that quote before. It gives us this sense that if we do, or because we are doing work that we love or are passionate about, it will be easy and we won't have to experience pain. I know I definitely fell into this trap of thinking. It is this kind of thinking that has made some of us to view pain as an enemy. And for some of us that are quite religious, to view pain as something that is ungodly. We are so anti-pain and so scared of pain that our first reaction is to avoid it completely. That if we are feeling or going through pain, it's probably because we are unholy or must have done something to offend God. We are so quick to forget that Jesus was anointed without measure, yet that anointing didn't exempt him from pain. He was most holy, yet he knew pain. While I'm not suggesting that God brings pain into our life or sends pain to teach us a lesson, I'm also careful to say that for those of us that are quite religious, we need to be careful not to associate the presence of pain with the absence of God's grace in a person's life. Jesus, full of the grace of God, yet he experienced pain to fulfill his destiny. On our journey to becoming all that we are created to be, we need to be willing to leave our comfort zone, and with that decision comes pain. Even after we have left our comfort zone while running the race, we will still experience pain. There are three kinds of pain that we fear and we most likely experience on our journeys to becoming all that we are created to be. I believe these are the reasons we procrastinate and don't take those steps that will move our lives to a whole new level. Number one pain is loss pain. That if we take that step, we will lose something. We will lose that relationship. We will lose enjoying that food that we love to eat. We will lose the security of a job and lose a steady paycheck. That if we take that step, we will face the music. But rather than focus on loss, let's focus on gain. That if we take that step and face the music, that one day we'll probably lead the choir. And instead of saying, what will I eat if I take that step? Let's reframe it as, what will probably eat me up tomorrow if I don't take that step today? Number two pain that we fear is process pain. That the process will be hard. It will be hard to wake up at 5 a.m. to exercise. It will be hard to do something new at this age. It will be hard to do something that I've never done before. Now, true, it's going to be hard, but rather than focus on the process as something we have to endure, let's see the process as something we get to enjoy. Because here's the thing, the process will never leave us the same. It will make us better, it will make us stronger, cause us to improve, and give us a very inspiring story to share tomorrow. Number three pain that we fear is outcome pain. That after putting in all the work, all the effort, things will not exactly pan out as planned. That the grass isn't greener and we are no better than we were when we started. I believe that this is one pain that we really fear. That we put in everything and at the end of the day, it just all doesn't make sense. That will we matter? Will everything matter in the end? Will we matter? Will I matter? I have found the words of Steve Jobs to be helpful here, that we cannot connect the dots of our lives looking forward. We can only connect the dots of our lives looking back. So there is only one thing that we can do, and that is to trust God, to trust our gut, to trust the process, that somehow the dots will eventually connect. That the puzzle pieces of our lives will eventually come together to form this beautiful and awesome and complete picture. Now, I had to face my fear of these three types of pain while preparing for the 2020 Lagos City Marathon. For us to achieve anything great and significant in our lives, we all do. But we keep in mind that pain doesn't necessarily mean that God has abandoned us. Why? Because He is near that justifies us. We change our perspective, and rather than react and fight pain, we respond and learn to cooperate with it and see it as part of the process to living that life that we desire. we realize that pain isn't the enemy, our concept of pain is. I love the way Marcus Aurelius, one time Roman emperor, put it, that if you are feeling distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. What this simply tells us is that the pain is not the problem, but how we choose to view it, how we choose to respond to it. And the beautiful thing, like Aurelius says, is that this power of choice we can summon at any moment. We have that power of choice to choose to respond rather than to react, rather than to fight pain. To become all that we are created to be, to live a life of no excuses, to exceed limits, to break barriers, to crush our goals, to be those high performers that God has created us to be, it's helpful to remember the following. Number one, pain is not the enemy. Our concept of pain is. Number two, rather than spending all our time fighting pain, let's learn to cooperate with it. Number three, let us listen to pain. If we are feeling distress right now, it's probably a sign that we need to change something. We need to change our thoughts, a habit, a certain routine, or probably we need to just take time off to rest and to renew. Let's do that. Number four, that pain is the transitional price for moving towards excellence. And finally, but the most important, that pain is temporary. That pain that we feel right now is temporary. It will not last forever, but we will. So we need to be careful that we do not make permanent decisions based on temporary situations. To become a pleasant surprise to ourselves and to all those around us, to do the creative best that we can with our lives, we get to realize that we are not stuck, we are just inexperienced. We are not in a rut, we just haven't put our perceived issues into context. We haven't lost because we actually even haven't started. And we get to realize that the only pain we need to avoid in life is the pain of regret.